Hi guys, my name is Maria Fernandez. I'm from Police Studies program doing my presentation for Police Power in Canada course. So my presentation is police discretion and decision making in crime. So in this presentation, I will apply the concept of police discretion to two real life case, analyze them using 3 and 4 factory models, and then explain and justify my police decision legally and ethically. So how is discretionary power in police work? Discretionary power is the legal authority that allowed police officer to make decision in crime case based on a specific circumstances and factor involved. The police made the most appropriate decision whether a warning, charge, or arrest based on a Canadian chapter of Right and Freedom. However, the police is not absolute. It must be exercised within the framework of the law that protect society. This means that officers have the ability to make a realistic decision within the bounds of the law. Proof of the flame, on Section 9 of the Canadian Constitution, will state that everyone has the right not to be subjected to arrest or detention. Therefore, officers must make their decision based on responsible growth and balance that application of the law with the protection of human rights. So in this slide, we begin with the first scenario is a teenager girl, her age between 16 to 18 years old, paint on the wall without permission. Painting on the wall without a legal authorization is considered vandalism. Means it's a public property. The crime accrues a fine of less than 5,000. So as a proof, we have on section 430, one state anyone who intentionally destroy or damage property is considered to have committed vandalism. However, as the scenario mentioned, the gain that caused the damage the previous night was intentionally and disrespectfully. So the law is protect the girl from the arrest and charges because she did not intentionally vandalize the property and her intention was good and she was respectful too. Regarding section 495.2, a police officer may not arrest any person without a warrant on suspicion of committing a crime. That section protects the girl from arrest and being accused of the crime. So in the first scenario, the environmental factory were at play. The incidents occurred at night in a lane in the city center. That area was described as being known for gang activity. A similar incident has occurred previously in which guys vandalized a wall and behaved disrespectfully turned at police. They were charged with vandalism. The following day, the same thing happened to the teenager girl, but she acted respectfully and apologized. She has no idea she need to permission for the property owner. She apologized to the police and admitted her mistake too. In this slide, we will discuss the organization factory of the first scenario. The police duty in the community is to provide crime and vandalism of public property. Therefore, what the girl did was wrong, and the police has a right to make decisions regarding arrests, charging, and warnings. The police deal with this gang situation by charging them with vandalism last night because they had crime intentions and were disrespectful. However, a girl graffiti is vandalism, but her intention to beauty the environmental is positive, ability intentional. So circumstantial factors. The girl was between 16 to 18 years old, meaning she was aware of what she had done, but the police rolled out arrest and charges because she was cooperative, admitted her mistake, and apologized. She also had no proper crime record, so the charge could have negatively impacted her future. The final slide of the first scenario showed the police position and decision. The explanation state that the police should issue a formal warning and the girl must remove the drone if the uh, building owner requested. This decision was made based on the situation, the time, and the surrounding circumstances and the way that the girl treats. And it is considered the most appropriate of this case. So regarding the four factors, it is clear that nature of offenses was low level, amounting to less than $5,000, and the damage could be rectified. The girl was not punished because her intention was not criminal. The girl involved a teenager between 16 to 18 years old apologizing. The results a warning and awareness regarding the warnings of her action. So on this slide, we're gonna talk about scenario 2. So I will explain the legal based of Geary case. Canadian criminal law, especially section 334E, state that anyone who attempts to take property valued at less than $5,000 without permissions commits the crime of theft under that threshold. So in section 334B, if the value of the stolen goods does not exceed $5,000, the person is guilty of charitable offenses or summary offenses. Gary attempts to take the medication without the landlord permission. His intention was not criminal, but rather drive by deprivation, need, and difficult circumstances. He needs that money to pay the rent and for his young daughter. Regarding the environmental factors in this scenario, the second one, so the police always work to protect pharmacies from stealings because patients need those medication. It's also the recurrence of a stealing in the pharmacy is not limited to ferry. We have also financial circumstances of young people that make them results to thieves because of their need money, and the government should help those young people. Organizationally factors in Gary case, police policy in Canada encourages us to deal fairly with low seriously crimes, especially those committed by young people with no cruel convenience. Also, there is ongoing cooperation between the police and pharmacies to reduce crime using rehabilitative a solution rather than direct charges. And then there are humanitarian circumstances such as poverty and a hard time. Situational factors. Gary is 18 years old who failed cooperated with the police during his arrests and appeared remorseful. His action submitted from a desperate need for money. He is responsible for a young daughter and he trying to provide for her basic needs. However, Gary has no poor crime record, suggesting that he is not a habitual offender, but rather a young man facing difficult circumstances. Police test and decision plus the four factors. In Gary case, the police decided to issue a warning instead of pressing criminal charges because a judge could run his future. I will also have Section 7 of Canadian Chapter of Rights and Freedom insteps that police decision must respect fundamental principle of justice and not cause necessary harm, especially to young people with no criminal records. So for the four factors indicate that the crime was a low severity. Gary apologized and expressed remorse for his actions. We must also consider his circumstances, poverty, and their need for money. He is also a father. So the final decision saved as a warning, and as it was the most property and just the best action, have the police act. After we explain both of scenario 1 and scenario 2, we have the comparison. As you see guys in the screen is so clear to you. I'm not gonna go deep, but we're just gonna know what is it. We have the type of crime. In the first scenario, we have a vandalism crime, and the second scenario, we have a theft crime. And risk level, we have the first scenario low, and the second scenario is also low. Suspect behavior in the first scenario is calm, respectful, and positive. In the second scenario, respectful, remorseful, crying. We also have criminal record. In the first scenario, no. In the second scenario, no. Motive, we have the first scenario, it's arts, drawing, and the second scenario is financial issues. And the final decision is the first scenario, warning, and the second scenario is also warning. So now we have a reflection, ethical reflection, and legal reflection. I'm gonna talk about the most important and interesting one in the ethical reflection. So we have the ethical contact. In the both scenario, the ethical contact is the most important thing that make the police change his decision and just make it easier for both of the boy and the girl. So we have in the first scenario with the girl, the day before last night, when it's the same scenario happened with the game people, the police decide to give them charge because of ethical contact with the between the gay people and the police, and they was not respectful, and they was rude to the police. But the girl was nice to them, and she apologized, and she showed them that she made a mistake and she doesn't know that. Okay, legal reflection. I do have two scenario proof that the police cannot arrest anyone, and it's not easy to arrest them. We have in section 495 too, and we also have in section 9 from criminal code. So the summary of the two decisions: scenario 1, Tina, non-criminal incidents mean warning. Section 2, Gary, humanitarian circumstances and financial motive means warning. And Allison's in environmental organization and situations. And we have Palin's decision. So the law, we have section 430, 334, and 495 too. And we have section 9 and section 7. And outcome, justice achieved without arrest. My personal opinion, police discretion is not an easy task. The police must make a legal and human decision that balance protective society with consider that circumstances of individuals and affording jeopardizing their future. So in the end, I just want to say that my references, it's under Canadian law, are taken from Criminal Code 2025. So I have all my references right here. That's everything from my presentation. Hopefully you enjoy it. Thank you.